Saturday, the 23rd of March 2013 it is. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to this edition of KTN Live at 1. My name is Eric Njoka. 5 people died and 3 others sustained serious injuries in a multiple vehicle accident that happened early this morning along the Eldoret-Nakuru highway. A truck is reported to have rammed into 4 other trucks parked by the roadside at Salga Shopping Center, a few kilometers from Nakuru town at around 3 a.m. this morning. Earlier reports indicated that several people had been trapped in the wreckage but have since been removed. The Kenya Red Cross Society staff and well-wishers who arrived at the scene retrieved the bodies and transferred the injured victims to the Nakuru Provincial General Hospital. Let's go to matters ICC or the matters Hague, and staying with that Hague story. And the International Criminal Court says former head of civil service Francis Muthaura is not liable for compensation despite his acquittal. Muthaura had earlier indicated that he will be considering filing for compensation, saying the ICC process had broken his heart, indicting the ICC prosecution for conducting sloppy investigations. The ICC says only unlawful arrest or a miscarriage of justice resulting from a conviction warrants compensation, and Muthaura's case does not fall within those parameters despite the collapse of his case.
According to the Rome Statute, a person who has been victim of unlawful arrest and detention or a serious miscarriage of justice that led to a conviction after a trial may have the right to compensation. Mr. Muthaura has never been arrested, nor has he been in the ICC's custody. And he has also not been convicted, as the prosecutor's decision to withdraw charges against him was made even before the commencement of his trial. Thus, this rule does not apply to him.
The prosecutor has in the past publicly stated that the scale of witness interference that the office has encountered in Kenya cases has been unprecedented. The court has developed a program to protect witnesses with appropriate and proportionate measures when needed, and will address the situation in Kenya in an adequate manner. Protective measures may, for example, include anonymity of witnesses, the use of pseudonyms, the redaction of documents, or the prohibition of disclosure thereof, and the use of audiovisual techniques which can disguise the identity of witnesses appearing before the court. The court also ensures that witnesses are provided with adequate protective and security measures through long and short-term protection programs. Under exceptional circumstances, the court may decide to relocate on a temporary or permanent basis a witness.
Those are some of the questions being answered by the ICC, and we'll air some of them in our subsequent bulletins later on in this station. And I know you're wondering why I've not mentioned matters sports now. And Kenya comes from behind to beat France 19-17 and qualify for Hong Kong 7's main cup quarter-final. I will be giving you the details to that story a little later. But let's move on. Police in Yandarua have arrested 2 people involved in a fake money printing syndicate in the area. Fake cash amounting to 104,000 shillings along with chemicals used in making the cash was also impounded during the operation. According to Yandarua North OCPD Benjamin Onsongo, police officers managed to arrest these suspects following a tip-off from members of the public. The suspects, who are now in police custody, are believed to have been circulating the money within Yandarua town and its environs. The OCPD says the circulation of fake currency was hurting the economy of the region. The suspects are being held at the Nyahururu police station as police launch further investigations into the syndicate. In another incident, police in Yandarua have arrested a man in his early 20s who has been terrorizing residents while armed with an AK-47 rifle. Police say the suspect may be behind a series of violent robberies as well as death witnessed in that area.
Then we confronted the vehicle. In the vehicle, doing thorough search, we found to be containing 104,000 fake money, they were in a group of 2. Although we were told early enough there were about 5 people in the vehicle, but the others had run away. In the due course of interrogating them, we found that these are the people who are actually circulating the money within our town here and other towns within the country. I take this opportunity to warn the general public, whenever they are given such money, it's better to check, because you can see like the watermark is not very clear. That's one sign that one can recognize and notice that it is not the genuine money.
Ministry of Education officials have ordered one of the best performing schools in Baringo County that expelled 2 pupils over alleged differences between the school director and the children's father to readmit them immediately. It is alleged that the pupils were suspended after their father fell out with the school director because of his political stance. Sophia Wanuna reports.
In a bizarre twist to a row between a school's management and a parent, these 2 Standard 6 pupils were expelled from Greenview Day and Boarding School in Eldama Ravine 11 days ago in unclear circumstances. The school director, Joseph Chaboy, claims that the school children's father owes the institution over 100,000 shillings in school fees.
Peter Kebrono, the boy who was being removed by the head teacher, had a fees balance and actually had a fees balance of 112,000, and if he insists that he has paid anything, if somebody goes to a school and pays a school fees, he is going to be given a receipt.
However, delving deeper into the standoff, and it emerges that this could be a relationship gone sour between the school and the parent who were once engaged in business dealings.
123,900, that is the total amount we owed him. Now, because we were still young and we didn't have money and we had friendship with us, so we told him that we didn't have money because we were constructing a dormitory at that time. Then the fellow said, okay. He went ahead and he said, let this money be deducted from the school fees. And then somehow told me, for all this time, this money must have been cleared. So I went to the office and I told the secretary, can you go now? Can you go to the registers and everything and get me the real amount?
Kiprono insists and maintains that he has cleared all his arrears, displaying evidence of the same in form of letters from the school, and says he could be a victim of his political stand.
Kindly arrange to clear your son's stroke daughter's outstanding balance of Kenya shilling dash. Ya, unaona dash hapo? Na jina ya kijana ndio hii. Dash ni kuonyesha sidaiwi. Faith Cherop. Yeah, the same day 28th 13 200.
Then when we ceased to be friends with him, because he did something I never expected him to do.
Ikiwa kama Bwana Cheboy ambaye ni ndugu ya gavana ambaye amechaguliwa na raia wa Baringo County, mimi nilikuwa mrengo tofauti, na hiyo ni haki yangu kama mwananchi na ni haki yangu kuchagua ule mtu nataka. So kama wamechukulia kisiasa, then wataniambia kama ni kisiasa, mbona walipeleka ingie shule.
It is one of the best schools in the area, and Kiprono is not about to transfer his kids to another school. As the rest of the school prepares for the end of term exams, these 2 pupils are home, hoping the dispute will be resolved quickly. Koibatek's District Education Officer Richard Obonyo has in the meantime written to the school management to allow the pupils to resume learning as they sort out their differences. Sophia Wanuna, KTN.
Alright, so more magistrates today, knowing their fate, asked the Judges and Magistrates Vetting Board and answers further determinations of magistrates who have been vetted so far. Our reporter Wilkis Tanyabo is following the proceedings and joins us live now on phone from Anniversary Towers. Wilkista, if you can hear me, who is in and who is out?
Good afternoon, Eric and Joka. Now we are coming to you from the Magistrates and Judges Vetting Board that is today issuing its determination in the cases of 8 judges who had been found unsuitable and who were seeking who had applied for a review, and also in the cases of 16 magistrates who had been promoted to the bench. And so we will start with the judges. There were 8 judges who applied for reviews. They were found unsuitable and they had applied for reviews, and this is what the Magistrates and Judges Vetting Board determined today. In the first case, we will start with the first. This is Justice Abida Aroni and Justice Nicholas Ombija. The Magistrates and Judges Vetting Board found that it ruled that the proceedings against them had been rendered null and void. What this basically means is that they will be vetted afresh, so that the Magistrates and Judges Vetting Board will enter new findings against them, whether they are suitable or unsuitable. Therefore, their applications have been granted. However, in the case of 5 other judges, these are Justice Joyce Haminwa, Justice Muga Apondi, Justice Mary Angawa, Justice Murugi Mugo, and Justice Leonard Njagi. The board found that they did not have grounds to seek a review of their findings, and it upheld the finding of unsuitability which had been entered earlier. Therefore, these 5 are out. I'll just repeat that. These are Justice Joyce Haminwa, Justice Muga Apondi, Justice Mary Angawa, Justice Murugi Mugo, and Justice Leonard Njagi. There was an 8th judge, it would be Justice Sogon, who had also applied for a review, but when he was supposed to come for a hearing, he was ill and was unable to attend, and therefore the board has not entered any submission against him. Now, the board then moved on to magistrates who were promoted to the bench, and it started with Justice Grace Zioka. Justice Grace Zioka had been, it had been alleged that her temperament was an issue in the courtroom, and against her, the board found that she was not suitable to continue serving in office.
Okay, Krista?
Yes.
If I may ask, what happens now to the judges after they're vetted? I think very many people are asking, because we've been having this vetting process for a long time now. What happens to the judges when and if they're vetted?
Well, basically, the judges have been vetted. These were 8 judges who were vetted. They were found unsuitable, and therefore they were given time to review their findings of unsuitability. Basically, what this means is that if the judges felt that they had new information that the vetting board needed to take into account, it was an appeal of sorts, and the vetting board now just basically saying that they do not have the grounds for appeal. So they basically throwing out the appeals that they had lodged. But in the cases of, you will see that in the case of Nicholas Ombija, he is going to be getting a fresh vetting, and basically, yes, this is what happens at this point.
All right, thank you very much. Wilkista Nyambo coming to us live from Anniversary Towers, and like she mentioned there, it's a review of judges and magistrates after the vetting board announces further determinations of magistrates who have been vetted so far, and this is an ongoing process, and Wilkista Nyambo is rightfully on that story. We'll be getting details in a subsequent bulletin as what happens and who is in and who is out. A fire at the industrial area prison warden in a residential area last night destroyed property of an unknown value and left some prison warders homeless. The cause of the fire was unknown, but prison wardens who were still on duty rushed to the scene and managed to contain the fire, preventing it from spreading over to other residents' houses nearby. One of the victims who lost property, Dennis Kimenjo, had to sleep in the cold as his house was totally burnt down.
Chanzo cha moto sikukifahamu, lakini nilipokuwa kwa neighbor niliona moto kwa nyumba yangu. Alafu nikatoka kuingia kwa nyumba hivi nikapata kuna kitu naweza kukolea. Nyumba imeingia kwa moto. Moto imeingia kwa nyumba. Sikuweza hata kuokolea kitu.
kwa hiyo response nikachukua firimbi yani nikapuliza kabisa ku attract yani watu wakuja wengi yani wazime moto hiyo yani. Sasa ndo watu walinio response kabisa wakakuja na lori ya maji, hizi fire extinguishers wakuja ndo wakaja hata ku put off this hii moto hii kabisa hii.
Well, a report on the status of mental health in the country released yesterday paints a grim picture of the lives of mental health patients. At least half of the patients are said to have been arrested and more than a third of them have served prison sentences for various crimes before the discovery of their mental conditions. And as Willie Zangira reports, it is widely believed that mental health patients suffer at the hands of their handlers, including family and security officers.
Despite having a mental health program with a focus on community mental health care, the government only spends 0.01% of its health budget on mental health. The report indicates that an alarming number of mental patients are arrested as criminal suspects. Lead researcher in the survey, Professor Caleb Othieno, says those who have been unlucky to land in jail suffered assault and torture from both the inmates and security officers.
From the study, we have made a number of recommendations. One is the need for having proper laws to safeguard the treatment of mentally ill, and in this regard there is the Mental Health Act which has got some improvements, and we hope it's going to address this.
In the past, reports of people suffering from mentally related disorders living under inhumane conditions have emerged. There is also the issue of stigma associated with mental illness from the patient's family and members of the public.
Masilahi ya wenda wazimu haiangaliwi kwa ile njia inafaa vizuri, sababu utakuta kwa hospitali pia ni kama hakuna msimamo mzuri vile, na wengine wamejaa nje wengi.
Wafai kuachilia mgonjwa atembe huku nje. Kama mtu ni mgonjwa, watu wao wajue, wanamprotect, ndio asikuje huku nje ataumia.
According to the findings, mental health patients out of specialized medical care face more incidences of cruelty. However, it was also pointed out that these patients also suffer at the hands of other hospital handlers.
Claudia watching KTN Live at 1 with me, Eric Njoka. Time for a break. See you back shortly.